Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Fabrizio Romano here as always to keep you posted on the transfer market. And today, guys, updates, stories, news for you. Big news, several updates, and so we jump into it together and we start immediately with the very latest regarding one of the big names of the summer transfer window. Another record signing, yes, because after Elliot Anderson becoming record signing for Manchester City, £116 million waiting for an official announcement, but it's done, medical also completed, and so Elliot Anderson will be new Manchester City player. Matias Fernandez, one of the biggest battles in the recent months on the market, has been agreed as a deal with Tottenham Hotspur. So it's done. Matias Fernandez will play for Tottenham Hotspur and not for Manchester United. Man United have been in conversation for a long time with Matias Fernandez till this morning. I can guarantee to you that before lunchtime, Manchester United were still in contact with the agent of the player, still in contact with West Ham, but what made the difference, as I always told you, is the transfer fee. Because Manchester United were not matching £85 million valuation in full, so this was the plan. They were never going to pay £85 million in full, but they were prepared to reach £85 million, including add-ons. So this was the strategy, this was the idea, to get closer to £85 million with add-ons. Tottenham arrived with £85 million guaranteed fee, fixed fee, no add-ons, no future stories. West Ham have the guarantee they wanted. I always told you the price, it was 3 weeks ago, maybe 4 weeks ago, I told you the price to sign Matias Fernandez is £85 million. And now the player has been paid £85 million. I told you in a video 2 days ago, the payment terms are going to be important, so they don't want a structure with too many add-ons, with too many complicated ways to reach the price, and now the price has been reached in full, £85 million for a player strongly wanted by Roberto De Zerbi. De Zerbi was pushing like crazy behind the scenes to get Matias Fernandez. It was not easy for Tottenham to get the green light from the player with Man United involved, playing Champions League football. Tottenham were in trouble till the final day of the Premier League season, so it's a completely different situation. But now we can say that Tottenham have agreed all terms with Matias Fernandez and also with West Ham. So £85 million, the most expensive deal in history for Tottenham, more than Xavi Simons, more than Solanke, and so for sure an important addition, one more, for Roberto De Zerbi. So we will be following all the next movements because Tottenham remain in conversations with Newcastle for Sandro Tonali. So we have to see also the outcome of that conversation between Tottenham and Newcastle, but for sure they are working very hard to rebuild the midfield. Talking about Manchester United, guys, what happens now? What's next? Because Man United missed on a target they wanted. They wanted Matias Fernandez, but they couldn't pay that money. So it's important to say in a very clear way that Manchester United will still sign a midfielder. Man United were planning to sign two. One is going to be Ederson, and they will still sign one more, at least one more. Then, many of you asking me about Tchouameni now. Tchouameni is a dream signing for Man United. They love the player. But at the moment, the financial of the deal are considered still too high. Because also the salary is not just about Real Madrid, it's also about the salary. The salary of Aurelien Tchouameni is considered too high. So the only way to open doors to Aurelien Tchouameni to Manchester United after missing on Matias Fernandez is to discuss a completely different salary. And at the moment, it's still not something happening. So let's follow the situation. Now, obviously, for Man United will be about reassessing the situation and then try to understand what's going to happen with the new midfielder. But for sure, it's a position they still want to cover. Then, talking about midfielders, guys, I wanted to mention today also the situation of Alex Scott, the midfielder from Bournemouth, one of the most interesting midfielders in Premier League, English player, of course, and so also a plus, especially for the English top clubs, when they have the possibility to go ahead with this kind of players. Obviously, is important for English clubs to have English players in their squad. This is why Arsenal made a call. Arsenal had a bid rejected a few days ago for Bruno Guimaraes. Arsenal also made a call for Alex Scott. A conversation with Bournemouth took place. The message sent by Bournemouth is, we don't need money, We already sold many players over the last 12 months, so we want to continue with Alex Scott, and they are offering Alex Scott a new contract with the possibility to include a release clause for a future exit. So at the moment it's difficult to get Alex Scott. Then, still 2 months ahead, so we have to understand what's going to happen in terms of conversations if some club, including Arsenal, want to try again. But at the moment, the situation with Alex Scott is Bournemouth want to keep him. Bournemouth received a call from Arsenal, but at the moment are not advancing. Then we have to mention something, guys, also about Real Madrid. First point about Real Madrid, what I told you, I think 10 days ago about Nico Schlotterbeck. Right after his injury, we can remove his name from Real Madrid shortlist. Not because they don't like the player, but I told you the day of the injury. Unfortunately, when a player gets injured, obviously Real Madrid are not taking the risk. It's not a super long-term injury, but Real Madrid are still not taking the risk. So Schlotterbeck, I never mentioned to you Schlotterbeck as a concrete name for Real Madrid, and today I keep telling you that it's a story that has gone cold since he got injured with the German national team. So that's the situation with the German defender. Then, talking about Alessandro Bastoni, today many questions. The Bastoni mission, the Bastoni operation, Bastoni to Real Madrid, the negotiation ongoing, talks started. I can guarantee that as of today, Inter have received zero approaches from Real Madrid. So, to start an operation Bastoni, obviously, I imagine they would have to reach out to the club and start a conversation. At the moment, Inter have not received any kind of approach, and Inter remain convinced they can continue with Alessandro Bastoni next season. So this is the intention of the club, to keep Bastoni and to continue with him. Then, if an official bid from Real Madrid will arrive, we will keep you posted. But don't forget what I told you about Real Madrid. It's for the midfield, it's for the defenders. They need exits. The squad is very big now, it's very large, and they need exits. This is the message coming from Real Madrid. For example, at centre-back, a position where they want to make some space, just mentioning one name, Raúl Asensio is a player that Real Madrid consider for sale this summer, but at the moment yet to agree anything on player side or on club side. So we have to see if there will be evolutions on exits. Real Madrid can go, for example, for a new defender, and also the midfield is a crucial area for Jose Mourinho. I always told you this. But at the moment, for Bastoni, zero contacts made with Inter. So the appreciation for players is one thing, then going and sign them, Enzo Fernandez, Bastoni, many rumors, it depends on what's happening in concrete. And then let me finish, guys, by answering your questions on Malo Gusto. Because with Chelsea now working on several wingbacks, Palestra is done, then Echeverria from Rayo Vallecano. What happens with Malo Gusto? Guys, Malo Gusto is appreciated by Enzo Maresca. So at Manchester City, Enzo Maresca is a big fan of Malo Gusto and is a player they are considering. But Manchester City made clear that they are not paying 75 million pounds, the valuation made by Chelsea for Malo Gusto. So, or the price drops later on this summer, or Man City will go for a different fullback. That's the situation. For Malo Gusto, this is the price from Chelsea. Again, they want 75 million pounds, and we have to see what's going to happen around Malo Gusto with Palestra now joining Chelsea. Guys, on this and much more, let me know your opinion in the comments. As always, I wait for your comments on, obviously, Matias Fernandez and all the rest. Here, as always, I will see you soon.